Well, hello, and welcome to Omar's Garage. We're starting off the year today. Today, recently, I've been getting these messages that kind of come on intermittently on my instrument control panel that talk about service Stablitrak system, and also traction control. So it comes on. I get the little warning light. Looks like a triangle with a car with some squiggly lines underneath it. And so today we're just going to be tackling that and hopefully resolving it. Today it looks like it's going to be something simple. So I'm going to go over it and hopefully you will get something out of it. All right, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about what the different, just from reading up, the different things that could be going on with the vehicle, with the truck. One of the things that comes up in a couple of videos is the brake controller. It's a little switch that's attached to the brake pedal. Sometimes they say when that goes bad, you'll get those messages also. But a lot of people, when that happens, usually it won't let you put it into gear. I actually had an issue with this vehicle that was related to the cruise control. My cruise control wasn't working, and I'll put a link up there as far as how to change that switch. And that actually resolved my cruise control issue. And whenever I hit the cruise control button, I wasn't getting any, and it wasn't doing anything. The cruise control light wasn't kicking on, and that was able to resolve that issue. I think some other people have issues with the brake lights or something, because that actually controls a couple different things in the system. So that's one of the options that it could be. The other option is, another thing that could be wrong is a ground somewhere. I think there's a ground for the system. So sometimes you'll get corrosion on that ground and you have to go ahead and clean it. And actually there's another ground here that I've heard could be an issue. And I'll go ahead and I'll record that and I'll show you what that is. For now, I think my issue right now is where I'm pointing at that with the flashlight. I think that's what's going to be the issue with mine. The brake fluid looks like it's kind of low. So apparently when the brake fluid is low, it triggers that sensor, which can give you that error message also. So I'm hoping this is the easier one. And I'm hoping it's just that brake fluid. This needs .3 brake fluid. And also, the main step is cleaning the exterior before you ever open this, because you don't want any kind of dirt or dust in there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to clean this up as well as I can, and I'm going to go from there. All right, well, I'm just going to spray this down with a little bit of degreaser. I'm actually using this is what I use to wash down my car. It's a rinseless wash, but you can use a degreaser, which would probably be better for this. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's below that line. And if you read on here, it'll tell you that it needs a OBD-III. And if you can tell, I mean, it's hard to tell here where that line is. So you might not want to get those electrical connectors that dirty. And there's a ground right back there that some folks talk about being an issue also. So that's another thing that I can, take a steel brush and take some of the corrosion off and clean that off to see if that's causing any of the issues. So we'll go ahead and open it, see what it looks like. There's some in there, but definitely not enough. It's fairly low. You can see there. You can see it's below my finger. So that's probably going to be the issue that we're having. All right, so I found some OBD-III. This one says M4. That's all I got, all I could find. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start. I already cleaned it off the bottle too, and I'm just going to continue to pour to get that halfway between the, I'm going to try to get it to max level. All right, so now we're at max, so hopefully that light should not come back on. I'm pretty sure that this is what it was, since it was below. That's something that's hopefully a pretty simple fix if you're getting that message. So, all right, so I think that's hopefully going to resolve the issue. I won't know until I drive the car around. I'm going to, I guess, do an update later on, but for now, I think that will resolve that issue with the Stablitrak and traction control lights that are coming on. They weren't coming on all the time, so I'm thinking it's just, you know, it was at that point where it was either, you know, close to the lowest level, it would trigger it. So right now, I'm just gonna, you know, put the cap back on, close the hood, and I'll start the car, I'll drive it around, and but that should be it. You know, I'm thinking that, you know, that's gonna resolve the issue. So if you're having that issue, you might wanna try that first. If for whatever reason, this doesn't get rid of that problem, then I'll make another video on how I resolved it. Now, it could be, like I said, the ground wire, that could be bad. It could be one of several sensors. I never did an OBD-II scan on it. I probably will, and just in case there's still something in the system so that I can let you know. All right, well, I've gone ahead and I've hooked up my OBD-II scanner to the underside of the Escalade, and right now the car is just on the ignition on, so there's just the check engine light, but that's just, that always comes on when the car is in that position, when the ignition's in that position. So this is my OBD-II scanner, and I'm just gonna go ahead and click on the OBD-II because it's not a Porsche. Now this right here always comes up fail. I don't know what that's, I never looked into that, but in all my cars that I use it, that always says fail, but that, I think it's unrelated to these vehicles. So I'm gonna hit OK. And we're gonna hit read codes. Read codes, ECU1, no codes. Let's see, read codes, ECU2, no codes. ECU3, no codes. So there's no codes. I think the codes only come up when it's actually occurring. Right now, nothing's coming up on my dashboard, so it looks like most likely that's been resolved. Unless it comes back up again, and I'm pretty sure that just refilling that brake fluid will resolve that. Now, the other thing that I'm thinking, if that brake fluid's low, that means there's probably, most likely, there's a brake pad that probably needs to be replaced, because that's usually when that brake fluid, you know, usually the system doesn't lose brake fluid, and it wasn't really, really low, so it's not like it's, I don't think it's leaking. So I think it's just something where the car just needs, probably one of the brake pads needs to be replaced. I think the right rear I'd never replaced when I did the left rear because of some squeaking. So I might go ahead and do that. I won't do a video of that because I put a link in the up top to show you when I did the brake pads on this vehicle. Well, thank you, and I hope that you can go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I just want to thank all my subscribers. Take care.